classic hair problem. Oil up here, dry ends down here. If you have this problem, you should get really excited right now because this is going to be awesome. All right, the reason you're having these problems isn't because hair is hard. Hair is actually easy. It just seems hard because most of the hair advice that you're getting is actually an advertisement dressed up to look like advice. That is a totally backwards way of learning hair. So let me tell you what really works. And lesson number one is that conditioner does not solve dryness. If you could just go to the store and say to yourself, I think I'll get a more moisturizing conditioner this time, you would have solved it a long time ago. The reason that doesn't work is because you're missing a really important piece of the puzzle that nobody ever talks about, and it is called moisture retention. Think of your hair as a bucket. You can put as much moisture as you want in that bucket, but if there's a hole in the bottom, it's all gonna leak right out. Well, guess what? Your hair actually does have holes in it, and moisture naturally wants to leak out of those holes. Over time, the environment, the sun, wear and tear from washing and drying and styling, all those things do damage to your hair, and damage is actually holes in your hair that the moisture can escape from. And because your hair cells are dead, it's like that 80s movie, Weekend at Bernie's, where if you want your hair to do anything, you're gonna have to be the one doing it. In just a minute, I'm gonna show you exactly how to stop all that moisture from leaking out of your hair. But first things first, we have to deal with oil. Oily hair is really stubborn. You've probably tried to fix it before. Maybe you got like a scalp scrub product or a spiky massager thing like this. Maybe you even found a 20-minute wash day routine on YouTube or something. And yeah, you can totally do all that stuff. It can be a lot of fun to try out new products and new tools, but remember to come back here when it doesn't work out for you, because there are only two things that actually get rid of oily hair. Your shampoo soulmate is the first thing. It's a shampoo that's a perfect match for your hair type and keeps your hair clean for at least 3 days, hopefully longer. And I just want to remind you that a good shampoo is simple. It should remove all the dirt and buildup from your hair and leave nothing behind. A lot of shampoos try to get all fancy with these extra ingredients, and people don't realize that those extra ingredients stay in your hair, weigh it down, and make it get oily and greasy more quickly than it should. It's like when you mop the floor, but the cleaner leaves these streaks and it like feels sticky on the floor. Maybe I just don't know how to mop, but you know what I mean. Your shampoo soulmate will leave nothing behind in your hair. It just removes all the dirt and oil without weighing your hair down at all, leaving it fresh and bouncy. That's the first step of getting rid of oily hair. The second thing you need is proper washing technique. This is just as important as having the right shampoo. And I know somebody out there is rolling their eyes like, Chris, how could I possibly be washing my hair wrong? But listen to me, eye roller. If you were here right now and I washed you in that sink over there, you would be like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry I doubted you. Please tell me how you wash like that. Number one, if you saw one of those videos that's going around saying that you need to emulsify your shampoo in your hands before you put it in your hair, that advice is absolute garbage. That's the equivalent of your trainer telling you to bring a spray bottle to the gym to make it look like you're sweating and working out really hard. You don't need to look like you're washing your hair properly. You need to actually wash your hair properly. Who are you trying to impress in the shower anyway? Is your cat watching you? Mine used to, it's cool, but who cares what your cat thinks? The reason it's such a bad idea to lather it up in your hands is because once it turns into lather, you're never gonna be able to force it all the way down to your scalp, which is exactly where you want it because that's where the oil is. And I know you're like, Chris, that's so much more work though. And yes, it is. You gotta put in a little bit of work, but you have to remember there's a reason they call it work. It's because it works. You need to be applying your shampoo while it's still a liquid before it puffs up. You want it to puff up when it's down on the scalp. You start in the back because that's the hardest part to clean. What you're gonna do is spread your hair apart to give yourself an opening so you can get to the scalp. Take your shampoo, push it all the way down to the scalp. Not on top of your hair, all the way down to your scalp. You're gonna take a little bit more shampoo and put it on top of your head, again, pushing it all the way down onto your scalp. You're gonna go again, whatever shampoo is left, and then do your sides all the way down to the scalp. And then if you still have some left, you can put it around the nape of your neck. Then you're gonna start working the shampoo in by pressing firmly with your fingertips, and you're gonna focus on washing your scalp, getting your scalp clean instead of getting your hair clean. If you get your scalp clean, I promise you, your hair is gonna be clean. There's one huge thing that a lot of people seem to miss. It's that your shampoo actually has to touch the oil for the oil to dissolve within the shampoo. Shampoo is a surfactant. It's basically like a stick where one side binds to the oil and the other side binds to water. So the only way for your shampoo to actually work is to come into direct contact with the oil so the stick can attach to the oil. That way, when water comes along, your shampoo grabs onto the water, yanks the oil out of your hair, and goes away with the water down the drain. And I promise you, there is no way to get your hair clean by casually swirling around shampoo on the top layer of your hair. So for everybody out there who's frustrated with oily hair and you think this elaborate pre-wash routine where you light candles and brush your hair towards Jupiter because it's in retrograde, ditch all that stuff. Spend your time here. Spend your time getting the oil to dissolve in your shampoo. Scrubbing really well also stimulates blood flow to your scalp, and a lot of people think that promotes hair growth, so if you're one of those people, cool. You probably already know by now that you need to be doing 2 washes. If you've ever had to clean grease off a pan or something, you realize that the first wash may get the first layer of oil, but you need to do a second wash to get the oil underneath. But you also need to be careful not to use too much shampoo on the second wash, because if you do, it'll dry your hair out. So second wash is same as the first, except you're gonna use half as much shampoo. Why? I just told you, we don't want to use too much. If you get a bunch of lather on that second wash with just half the shampoo, you're gonna stop. Your hair is clean. But if you don't get a ton of lather, you're gonna keep adding a little bit more shampoo, until you start to notice that you do get a bunch of lather. When you get the lather, your hair is clean. And yeah, I know that you heard lather doesn't matter, but it does. This is advanced class today. We don't have time for that. If you want a full explanation, check it out up here. Moving on, I'm gonna make this really quick, but you are required to use a professional shampoo. This isn't like a suggestion where, hey guys, turn your phones off, we're about to land. No, this 100% matters on every level. Cheap shampoo that's watered down is not gonna remove oil from your hair. It doesn't work that way. It just masks the bad smell with a fragrance. If you use one of these or similar, you are not allowed to complain about oily hair. You were warned. I saw an amazing comment on here yesterday where they said, hey, I upgraded to professional shampoo like you recommended, and it was great for the first 4 washes, but after that, it started to dry my hair out, and now I don't like it anymore. This happens to people all the time. It could happen to you, so let's go over exactly how she fixed it. When you upgrade to a strong shampoo, you have to adjust. They're 2 totally different products. It's the same difference as having a doll and having a kid. Like, you need to know what you're doing. When you first upgrade to a real shampoo, your hair is still gonna have oil and dirt and buildup from the watered down shampoo. So when she came in with a regular shampoo, she was eating away at that extra layer of oil and buildup. But the thing is, after the 4th wash, it was all gone. She had completely clean hair at that point. So she needs to be like, my old shampoo kept my hair clean for 2 days. I wonder how long I can go with this shampoo. But a lot of people are so busy that they get stuck in their daily habits, so they stay on the same wash schedule. They're like, hey, I'm supposed to wash today. Better wash my hair. But no, you cannot do that. The only time you're gonna wash your hair is if and only if it's dirty and oily. If your hair is still clean, it does not matter what your old wash schedule used to be. The only time you were ever allowed to wash your hair is when it's actually dirty. There's no point washing hair that's still clean. So bringing this all back around, let's take a fresh look at your hair routine, knowing what we now know. Let's pretend that you just washed your hair with your shampoo soulmate and you used perfect technique. Your hair is ready and all set to stay fresh and bouncy for a long time. But we still need to fix this whole dryness thing, and this is where things start to go off the rails for a lot of people. They think that they need to put moisturizing products into their hair to fight the dryness, and that makes total sense, but it's a huge mistake because those moisturizing products are heavy and they will make your hair feel greasy, and you may have noticed they don't even fix the dryness. So we're gonna use a different strategy. Fixing dryness is all about how moisturized the inside of your hair is. You can put all the moisturizing products you want on the outside of your hair, but it's still going to be dry until you add moisture to the inside. That's all that matters. There are only 2 products that do that, and believe it or not, you probably already have both of them. It's conditioner and a hair mask. Hair is not hard. You just need to know what tools to use and when. So when you get out of the shower, your hair is already hydrated from the conditioner or the mask, doesn't matter which, and at this point, we're back to the leaky bucket problem. Your hair has moisture, but it's all leaking out. You don't need to add any more moisture at this point. All you need is to lock the moisture that's already in your hair inside before it leaks out. And if you do that with the correct light products, you get the best of both worlds. Fresh, clean, light, bouncy hair that's naturally moisturized on the inside. Boom, problem solved. So let me show you exactly how to do that. 2 easy steps. Step 1, leave-in conditioner. This is extremely light and it forms a barrier around your hair. That barrier prevents any of the moisture from ever escaping. It's literally a miracle product that nobody talks about. All you're gonna do is spray this on your hair while it's still wet, while the moisture's still in there. Never use this on dry hair. And then you're gonna brush it through with a wet brush. If you have fine hair, you're gonna do 8 sprays. If you have medium hair, you'll do like 12. If you have coarse hair, you're gonna do 16 sprays. Now this protects all of your hair except for one small part, and that's your ends. It doesn't work on your ends because they're basically like a hole on the bottom where the moisture can just come out. So we need something a little bit stronger. That something stronger is hair oil. This will seal and polish up your ends, but because it's stronger, it's also heavier. So please promise me that you're going to use this sparingly. Less is more. These 2 guys, along with your shampoo soulmate, are what I call the Trinity healthy hair routine. You will be absolutely shocked what happens to the health of your hair when you keep it nice and hydrated. Dry hair is brittle and dull and breaks off. Moisturized hair is shiny and vibrant and has this bounce to it. It's awesome. Now, I didn't spend 20 minutes talking about these guys, but I promise you, they're absolutely essential to having hair. They should be a part of everyone's healthy hair routine. If you want to know how to use them, check it right up here. This is step 2 of having healthy hair after finding your shampoo soulmate. I want to tell you a quick story about one of my clients who had a ton of problems with oily hair. I literally worked with her for weeks. We could not figure it out. It turned out that her brushes at home hadn't been cleaned in like over a year. So every time that she got out of the shower, she was picking up these dirty brushes and putting dirt and oil straight into her clean hair. So please, clean your brushes. Another story that you really need to hear is about one of my stylists. She struggled for most of her life with oily hair. And she finally got it under control. She was able to go like 4 or 5 days between washes. But here in my salon, we test out a bunch of new products. A new product comes out, we try it. And one time I sent home a product with her. She came back the next day and her hair was totally greasy. Some products are just really, really heavy. And even if you're a stylist and you're doing everything right and you know exactly what to do, using just one heavy product will make your hair greasy and gross. So what you need to do is what I call the heavy product test. Basically, what you're trying to do is figure out if any of the products that you're currently using are making your hair get greasy really quickly. So what you're gonna do is the next time you do your hair, leave out one product. If everything's exactly the same, that product is safe, keep using it. But if your hair stays fresher and cleaner much longer, you need to drop that product and find a lighter version. This is a really common reason for people complaining of oily hair. You're just using products that are too heavy, and especially hairspray. If you load up on hairspray, your hair is going to get gross really quickly. It's just the way it is. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. If you want to know which specific products are right for your hair type, check out my recommended product list below. It even has a quiz to help you figure out your hair type. You should really take a look at it before you buy another product. Have a good one, guys. I appreciate it.